Hi there, I'm Suzanne, Head of Carer Support here at Mobilise, and just wanted to come and chat to you a little bit about a topic, stages of caring. What are the stages of caring? And this is something we chose to talk about in our last Thoughtful Thursday virtual cuppa for carers, just to see what other carers were thinking about that, what that made them think of. And it brought up quite a rich conversation. That's why we call it Thoughtful Thursday. And I thought I'd share a bit with you. Key thing to notice is that when we talk about stages of caring, it's not a straight journey. We don't all go through the same stages. Everyone's going to be a bit different, but you might recognise yourself somewhere in some of these stages. And also recognising that for some, the caring role can begin in an instant with an accident, a stroke, a sudden diagnosis, or even with the death of the person who was caring before. So it might be something that starts very quickly and very noticeably. For others, it might be something that grows very slowly. So we've talked before about moments of care, carers, people who are just helping out with the shopping, doing picking up prescriptions, something that people have done a lot of throughout the coronavirus situation, and that hasn't gone away. It's grown, or it's enlarged, or they've added other people that they're doing that for. So there's that moment of care stage. Others who are new to caring, they wouldn't identify themselves as a carer. We kind of think that's a big stage of just not recognising yourself as a carer, certainly not using that word, and not accessing any support, not really realising that there's something out there for you. There's a big stage around acceptance, it seems, as well, around not only knowing that word exists, but using it for yourself. I'm just a mum, I'm just a daughter, I'm just their wife, I'm just their friend, whatever. I'm just doing what people do. But also accepting that life has changed, that this is a new role for you, and something to be thought through a little bit and considered. So that acceptance is quite a key stage, and one that comes back. It's not a one-off quite often. There's a lovely phase that someone else came up with, this lovely word of a searching phase, where we spend a lot of time trying to understand, to get all the information we need. If it's our loved one has a particular health condition, we're trying to find out more about that. If they've been given a particular diagnosis, we're trying to understand maybe more about what the future offers, and quite often looking for those amazing cures, those things that we might be missing. So sometimes there's a sense of guilt around this searching phase, that you haven't found everything out, that you haven't looked at everything. And boy, is the internet big. This searching phase can go on for a long time, and probably is something that happens through each of the stages that we change, as stages change as well. So yeah, it can be hard to stop that. That can feel like an important part of our caring role. For some people, caring can be a part-time thing, maybe juggling things, work and caring, maybe running 2 households, bringing up children, or possibly sharing the caring with others and working out how that communication works. For others, caring moves on to a full-time, 24/7 role. This can be quite an intense time, can be quite a long chunk of a phase, and this can be a place where carers lose their sense of self and who they are, just because the demands of caring are so great and it feels like there are no other choices there to help. Then there's those changes where we accept and it's time for help from outside, whether it's carers coming in or other family members helping, or perhaps it's making use of other services like daycare centres. So there's that kind of involving other people stage. And then it may be time, maybe our loved one needs to be in a nursing home, a care home, assisted living, or other residential care. So maybe caring really shifts quite dramatically then, but you by no means stop becoming their carer. You'll step much more into an advocacy role, and actually there may be a time there where your actual relationship can really thrive, whether you're their mum or their wife. Those kinds of stages will come back. And then for some people, sadly, there's end of life care, when they know and have some warning about the duration of this particular condition and how it will end. And that can be quite a drawn out phase. It can be a really intense phase, we're learning, in those last few weeks as well, and particularly difficult through the coronavirus situation, where there's less support around, less friends and family drawing close to you. It can be quite a tough phase. And then after caring, dealing with feelings of guilt, grief and loss, processing all the practicalities of things that need to be dealt with. But what I'm hearing is that quite often that's a quiet time. Suddenly everything goes a bit quiet and lonely, and we're left feeling quite isolated, possibly with a loss of sense of purpose. So it could be a sudden change, or it might be something we knew that was coming. Either way, I don't think anything quite prepares us for it. So whatever stage you're at, whatever stage you've been through or are going through, there's something that we all have in common here, and it's this transition. As you move from one phase to another, seems to be a particular key moment where we're looking for new information, different forms of support and guidance, and different people really, maybe different people that have gone this part of the journey before or are going through something similar at the moment. So that's where community can be really important. We might want to reach out to different people in that phase. Dealing with new practical challenges and new emotional experiences as well. Don't forget how important they are. Our emotions might be different when we go through a transition into a different phase. And yes, that acceptance stage will quite often come back as we accept how life has changed and how it is still changing. So there we go. That's just our thoughts from the community on stages of caring. Please do get in touch. Send me an email if you've got something you'd like to add to that. If you'd like to talk through some of those changes, particularly if you're facing transition, do get in touch and book a one-to-one call. It's ideal time to talk through some of those stages and help you make those transitions and deal with those emotions and the practical matters. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.